everyone, and welcome to another episode of Little Give. We have a great guest on today. I can't wait for you to meet her. We'll peel back the layers of her and her story and see what she's all about. Go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from. Tell us what you're all about.
Thank you, Cindy. My name's Azadeh Atzberger. I'm a couples counselor, author of 4 books, 3 bestsellers. I have an in-house publishing, and I'm happily married with 2 dogs. Those are my children. And I live in California, and I'm all about living your best life.
Oh, I love that. Tell us how we can all do that.
Oh my God, it starts with our thinking. It's our thinking. It's always about our thinking.
I agree 100%. So what do you think is the best way to shift your mindset if you happen to be one of those people that are, just in negative town sometimes?
Oh gosh, well, I'm not sure if you've heard of the term neuroplasticity. We can actually, so I'm going to give you the root science first, Cindy. We can actually change, we could actually change ourselves, and we can actually force intentional, make choices of thoughts that inspire us, make us thrive, and then we keep practicing those affirmations. We can actually start practicing those and diligently looking for the good in circumstances, and then it becomes a working part of the mind. It becomes habitual through the practice.
I agree 100% that you're in control of your thoughts. And a lot of people don't believe that. They believe that, well, I'm just subject to whatever happens to me. I totally disagree with that. I'm with you when it comes to you get to choose your thought pattern. So are you always somebody who thought the way that you think today, or is this something that's evolved over time?
It's evolved over time. I mean, just growing up, we were supposed to be not warriors. Did that come out right? Warrior, like the worry kind of person, not a warrior. So I was groomed into thinking and looking for the wrong in everything. So it took a lot of intention and a lot of falling apart to come back to, wait, I have control over my own thoughts. I can make different choices. I can think differently.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you think is a way that you can change your thought patterns? Do you think that it's just something you can just use affirmations and that works? Or what do you think is the best way for somebody to really shift their perspective about the trajectory of their life?
Yeah, we look for the good. If you're going to take an inventory of the good. And it also, I believe it starts with your morning routine. I have a morning routine that I've practiced over 17 years. And that has given me everything I have today.
I agree. I think you set your day off in the right intention. I also have a morning routine, and I really do think it matters. And I know there's been a lot of research on this for like the top 1% and how their morning routines really help them shift into a perspective and a way of life that helps them do better than they were doing before. Tell us a bit about your morning routine and why you think it's so important.
I love it. So I wake up right away, grab my coffee, and go into prayer and meditation. I diligently, Cindy, will listen to a particular meditation that I go into and follow. It's a guided meditation, and I follow it through. And I'm telling you, every time I sit and I walk and I listen to it and I carry my thoughts in the direction of it, I come out transformed. I come out new. I come out intentional. I come out excited. And then I go for a run or I go to the gym. Not every morning. The exercise, not every morning. It's probably about 4 out of 5. Maybe 3 out of 4 is more accurate. But I do the prayer and meditation. So I ask God to lead my thoughts. Then I jump into a meditation. And I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to tell you guys who I listen to. I listen to Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he's got some great meditations online. And I listen to his meditations, and then I just really get intentional about what I'm going to eat, what I'm going to do, what's my plan for the day. And I do have a board on my wall in my office here where I have goals that I look at every morning also with that energy so that I can start practicing thinking, meditating, marinating on all the possibilities. And that gets me just excited about life.
I agree. I do the same thing. Get up in the morning super early, go get my workout on, and then I start my day. I don't look at any social media or do anything in that
Yep.
first hour just because I feel like it's so important to just kind of connect, journal, do all the things to really set yourself up for success. You did mention that you're a couples counselor. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
How does all of what you just mentioned play into that role?
Oh gosh, I love that you asked that. Thank you so much. So I'm a survivor of domestic violence and sexual assault, and I and now I'm a couples counselor. And so how that transformed is I did the healing and the work that I needed to in me. And as I went to school and got my degree, I met my husband prior to that, and we found some really big nuggets that work in our marriage. And so in the practice, we just celebrated 15 years on the 6th of May, 15-year marriage, and practicing and doing inventory. I found the principles that make a marriage work. We found the principles. And so it was, it just came to me. I had a couple 4 years ago ask me if I would work with them. And I started to work with them and was really able to teach them my marriage. Although I'm a counselor and I have a degree, I really teach my own marriage, honestly. And it seems to work. It seems to take hold. It seems to, I've only had one couple that I was not successful in helping, and I had to let them go because one of them was not all in. But I take 3 couples a year and I work with them. I would say usually it's been about 9 months to a year of working with them, and then I can release them into what I have helped them build in that year to now do it themselves. So I'm very particular who I take, and they have to fall under a certain criteria. But I work with couples. It's fascinating to watch them come back to intimacy, love, and connection.
Hi, my name is Justin Clark, and I'm the president of the board of directors for Driving Single Parents, a 501c3 nonprofit serving the citizens of San Antonio and Bexar County, Texas. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about the great work that our organization is doing for the citizens of San Antonio. What you're about to see is just a few photos and videos of the way that we're changing lives for single parents in and around San Antonio, Texas. Our first giveaway took place in April of 2017, just one short month after the formation of our organization. John, a Bexar County resident, was the victim of a horrible drunk driver incident. He and his daughter survived the crash, and we were so proud to give our first car to this deserving family. Fast forward to 2020, a very difficult year for nonprofits. We were able to secure 4 vehicles for single parents in need. Our organization, including our board of directors, list of partners, and portfolio of people we've been able to help in San Antonio, continues to grow, and it's all thanks to donors and local community organizations that have helped us along the way. This giveaway took place in 2021 and shows that we continue to help single parents even after the struggles brought about by COVID-19. Because of limited funds and the overwhelming need, we at Driving Single Parents are incredibly selective with the people we help. Some are victims of domestic violence. Others had a spouse pass away tragically, or otherwise fell on hard times. These single parents show adversity in the face of challenge and aren't looking for a handout. We offer a hand up and help get them back in the driver's seat. Many of the single parents we help go on to graduate college, get promotions, get married, mentor others, and some have even been so touched by the gift we gave them that they have decided to join our board of directors to pay it forward and ensure the continued growth of our organization. If you would like to help our organization continue to grow and continue to help single parents in need in San Antonio, Texas, and Bexar County, Texas, we would really appreciate your support. Please visit us online at www.drivingsingleparents.org. Thank you.
I bet that is very rewarding. First of all, congratulations on your anniversary. That's amazing. 15 years is an amazing, amazing, amazing thing. And so congratulations on that. And what you're doing to help these couples is really important, because in this crazy busy world that we all have, and everybody has their own connections and their own jobs and their own careers, and life is lifing every single day. Sometimes, that can happen where people move apart from each other. What would you say is one of your big tips on how a couple can reconnect?
It starts with communication, and the communication, to go the next layer, it's about validation. It's not about fixing. It's about validating where that partner is in that moment, in that struggle, and in that emotional pain. I can see you're upset. I can see you're frustrated. I can see what I said hurt you. When we validate, it takes away what just happened or what is happening. When we meet our partner in that moment of whatever the emotion is, and then move on from that, magic happens. But when we start downplaying, dismissing, or trying to fix, it gives messages to the partner that they're not valid, they can't figure it out themselves, and they're not enough because they have a problem. So meeting your partner with words of validation is huge, because it immediately brings heart connection rather than disconnection.
Very, very well said. I agree. Communication is so, so important. And then acknowledgement is also important. I know it can be difficult for a couple because they feel like, well, no, I'm right. No, I'm right. And now I'm mad. And now you're mad. And so you validate my feelings. And and it can turn into a bit of a tiff that can be a little hard to diffuse. So have you seen that in your coaching, where it takes a little time for them to kind of get on board, both of them, to really get that communication where it needs to be?
Oh, so good, Cindy. Yes. And this is exactly why the way I do is I work with them individually first, until there's rapport and trust and connection. And then as we're building that, I'm also really taking notes of the pain points in the relationship. So I don't jump in with both right away. Absolutely. I never will do that. It is a disaster. I meet with them each first. Sometimes 5 weeks, sometimes 3 weeks, sometimes 7 weeks, depending on the progression of the individual. Then I bring them together. And when I bring them together, they have homework, and we each go through it. And I literally then coach each of them in front of the other one. And then I bring them more into each other.
Wow. I've never really, I don't know a whole lot about couples counseling, but I've never heard of that being a separate thing. I've always known of couples counseling of like, they get together. And in fact, I've seen some episodes on TV where people are in couples counseling and they're bickering at each other, and she did this and she did that, and the person's just there listening. I take it that's not exactly how your program works.
Yes, no, exactly, because then we are building and reinforcing an association to me and our time of just bringing the argument in front of someone now. So what I need to do in order to dissect, dissolve, and correct what's happening is exactly why I meet them individually first, so I can really get an understanding what's really going on in their heart space and in their thoughts alone, a place to really just get it out, vent, communicate. But then I can pick points. As a counselor, I'm trained to look the words that they use, their facial expressions, their emotions. I can really see the root issue. And I'm telling you, Cindy, almost always it is about they're not being seen or heard. They're not being validated. Or sometimes, and the second most common is that they are putting their own responsibilities on the other with something they need to do for themselves, and they put it on the other.
Oh, very, very interesting. So obviously I can tell you have a huge passion for this. What made you think, you know what, I'm going to start a business and help other couples like this?
You know what? I didn't. It came to me. I'm serious. It just came to me. Somebody came to me and said, "Hey, Azadeh, would you work with me?" And then as I was working with her, she said, "Would you also work with my husband?" I said, "Yes." And it just kind of evolved. I never really planned this out. Like, I've planned my in-house publishing out where I help authors, but this one I didn't plan. And so then what happened is that couple, healed in their relationship, brought intimacy back. Then they referred me to another couple, and then another couple, and then that referral. And so then it just started to grow.
Hi, my name is Andrew Fraley, and I believe that sometimes we all need a little bit of help. If you're in the San Antonio community and you need some legal help, call me at 210-725-4658.
That is so, so cool how it just came to you. I love to hear stories like that because it's almost like your purpose. People always look for their purpose. Like, I'm trying to find my purpose. And sometimes your purpose just finds you. And I think that it just clicks. So I love to hear that. Tell us a bit more about your publishing.
Yes. So I've written 3 books. One I co-authored. Me and another lady co-authored her book. And so, English is my second language. So I never dreamed that I would be an author. But when I started to read and write, I found so much transformation in me and passion about reading and writing. I kept writing books. And then I realized, you know what? I've had 4 different in-house publishers, and I learned so much that I believe that I can actually now be an expert in publishing because of all of the ups and downs and the pain points and the emotions and the impatience and all of that I can bring into the table and help authors, because it is so difficult and challenging and overwhelming to write a book. And I want to take all that pain point out so that they can focus on their actual messaging rather than what's going on with the publisher and the time. And so I love doing that. And I meet authors wherever they are, whether they've written it and want to start it, whether they are brand new or it's their second one, or they want to rewrite it, or they want to add to their first book. I mean, there's so much you could do with a book, and I've found so much passion in doing that.
Awesome. So you help them write the book and then help publish it, or you
all
tell
of
me
it.
more about that.
All of it,
All of
Cindy. All of it.
Started your own publishing company.
We do. I have a team that I'm absolutely in love with. We all work really well together, which did not happen originally. So we find the people that work with us, and that might take a few people until we get there. And so here we are. So yes, we will help you. Let's just say you came to me, Cindy, and said, "I want to write a book, but I have no idea." First, I'm going to sit with you and we're going to figure out what your message is. The name of our in-house publishing is called Power Within. And I named it that because it's about you. I want to tap into your power within, not Azadeh's. Your power within. So we get your messaging, and then we could do design, bestseller, publishing, upload to Amazon, social media, content, whatever you want. We could do. Some people just say, "Well, Azadeh, I just want the book. I want you to help me write it." Or some people say, "I've already written it. Now I just need to edit. I just need it to be edited. I needed it to be I need a design." Wherever you are with it, you want the whole package, some of the package, little of the package, whatever.
That's so neat. I love how you did your own books, right? And then you said, I can do that. And then you started to do it on your own. What do you think gave you the power and the confidence to be able to say, I could do that, and then go out and do it?
Cindy, I am such a firm believer that my big value system is, if you didn't do the work, you don't have what I want. If you just studied something and then now you're doing it, I want to see results. I want to see someone from domestic violence to a couples counselor. I want to see someone that's written multiple books, now is publishing a house. I don't come to me and say, I can do this for you when you haven't done it or you don't have experience in it. So me having my experience in it has given me the experience to be the authority and the expert in the field. So that's where it comes from. I did it. Just like my sobriety, I'm sober 23 years off of drugs and alcohol. Someone that is trying to get sober will talk to me and I will immediately connect with them because I understand addiction. I understand abandonment from addiction. I understand everything that comes with it and the cravings and so on. So they're going to go, "Oh my God, she gets me because I did it." So that's where it comes from. I've walked it. I'm not just talking it.
Yes, I'm a big believer that you're the most qualified to help the person you once were. And it sounds like that's exactly what you do and what you're all about. And I love that. I love that you had the power to go and do that. You know, there's a lot of people who are listening to this show today thinking, well, yeah, sure, she could do all that, but I could never do that. What would you say to somebody who has that type of outlook?
It's so connected to what we've originally started talking about is our thinking. I'm telling you guys, your viewers right now, I promise you, with everything in me, you can write a book. It's so easy. You think it's not. You've been told it's not. You've been groomed and conditioned by society and big wigs that have written books that you have to be that to accomplish this, and you don't. It can be, oh my God, just one session with me. I promise you, 1 hour, I will help you navigate exactly what your messaging is today and in 5 years. So you don't have to go back and change the book, which I did on my first book. So I can bring all of those nuggets to you and say, I am telling you what, it is the easiest thing to do because it's in you already. We're just tapping in to your power within.
Hmm. You know, I love the book called Who, Not How. Have you read this book?
No, but it sounds great.
Great book because it's not all about like, how can I do this? How can I do this? How can I know? It's who can help me? And then life gets to be so much easier whenever you look around your circle and say, I want to do this. I don't know everything. I'm never going to know everything. Who can help me? And it seems like it could be pretty easy for somebody who has an idea for a book to say, she can help me, and then give you a call, and then you can help them put the pieces together to make it that much easier.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing is I want to make it easier so that they can stay on that energetic level of living already, feeling the excitement of it weekly. So when it becomes so a publisher, if they're not doing their job, it's going to put strain on the author, and that's absolutely, it's not okay. It's just not acceptable. So I've learned that I can take away the pain points and give them the power and the authority to stay in that energy to write. Because when you're writing, you already have so many emotions. Like as a survivor of abuse, narcissistic abuse, writing my second book, Adult Children of Narcissistic Parents, I had to relive a lot of that. And the publisher was not empathic enough to understand she's a survivor. She's going to relive some of this stuff. So I need to be taking away and being really responsible for my part as a publisher so she can just write and feel those feelings. You know what I'm saying? Or, so as a publisher, it's so important for me to be very clear and take away all of the guessing, thinking that comes around the book. I want my author to be solely concentrated purely on their messaging. And even that, I'm going to jump in and really challenge them to be sure that this is what they want out there.
I like that. A stress-free process is
Yes.
really important You're right. I've written 5 books, and you do relive a lot of the things that you're, going through, you're growing through, you've been through. It's all the different emotions. And then, knowing that other people are going to read this, it is also something that you have to deal with. And so make it a stress-free process, I think, is really, really beautiful.
You get it. See how we bonded right there. You've written 5 books. You're my powerhouse. I want you on my podcast, Cindy.
I would love to be a guest.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We immediately connected because we both did the work. You got what I was saying, having to relive it. But someone that's never been an author doesn't even anticipate that.
Absolutely. So it's good to make it a stress-free process for them, for sure. That takes me to my little gift questions. Can you give the audience an example of a little thing that they can do in their community that might just be a little give on their end, but might make a big impact on the other side?
Oh my gosh. I would say serve. Serve. Be of service. You think it's giving yourself away. You think that you're doing another freebie thing. You think those thoughts, but when you serve, that's where the magic is. I have served in my community, and I will never give up serving because it's built something in me. When I give it away, somehow I get it. Somehow it boomerangs back to me. When I was really focusing on you and I helped you, somehow it came back to me. I don't know how it works. It just does. So serve in your community wherever you can. It doesn't matter where. Serve. Being of service helps you and your community.
That's so true. And it costs nothing. It's amazing. You could just give a little bit of your time and really make a change in the world. So I love that example. Can you give the audience an example of a time in your life where somebody did something little for you that might have just been a little give on their end, but really made an impact on you and in your life?
Absolutely. My dearest friend, my best friend, this is the beauty of a best friend, the ones that will tell you your truth. They will mirror back. They will mirror back you. And my best friend, in one sentence, mirrored back, because she'd been listening all these years to me in my heart, mirrored back what I needed to hear, and took a risk and was courageous enough to tell me what I needed to hear, and it changed my life. So I'm forever grateful for a friend that had the guts and the willingness and already a foundation built within us of trust to say one sentence to me that changed my life. And I'm forever grateful. So don't be a people pleaser. Tell the truth, because you'll be respected and honored rather than fearing to tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Yeah, we always need that friend to kind of give us that accountability factor. So thank you for sharing that. Do you have any nonprofits that you're excited about?
Absolutely. Laura's House. There's 2 facilities. I think one is in San Juan, and the other one, I want to say, I think it's Huntington Beach. But anyway, Laura's House is amazing. This is a homes that have been there for mothers and children. I think it was mothers at first. Yeah. And then eventually they evolved to mothers and children that are in hiding from domestic violence, abusive partners. Literally, they can go, they can rebuild. There's a place for their kids. I also got, I went through their 40-hour training on abuse, and it was packed with unbelievable leaders in the community, teaching, guiding. These women are safe. They're protected. The address of these homes are highly secured so that these women can heal and grow in their own life away from the abuser. And there's just they're just growing. I mean, there's job opportunities. There's just so much. And the training, if you are not sure that you're in an abusive relationship, or if you want to work within, I mean, all kinds of people can come to their training, and it's free. It's 40 hours. I did it. I grew so much in understanding what verbal abuse is, psychological abuse, emotional abuse. Anyways, it's a very well designed, highly protected, reputable home, Laura's House, and I just can't say enough about them.
Such a beautiful nonprofit. You know, it's sad that we need these things in this day and age or
Yes.
anytime, but it's wonderful that these are here because they are so necessary and really, really can help get somebody into a better situation. And also, I love the education component. You know, not all places that offer these services have education components like that. And it's so necessary because there's so many people I've spoken with who are like, well, I'm not really sure if it is or isn't, or if it's that big of a deal. And I think it's wonderful that they have these programs that can help you really understand your relationship, where you're at, and if there is a change that's needed.
Yes. Amen. Absolutely, Cindy. I'm right there with you. So needed. So needed. Because the most dangerous time for a woman when she leaves an abusive relationship, that's the time that's the most dangerous. Not when she's home. It's when she says, I'm done, and I leave. So abuse escalates. So they have a place to go if it's Laura's House. There's other places too, I believe now, but Laura's House is very, very well organized and protected. So I'm all about Laura's House.
Love it. Love it. Well, you've shared so much insight with us today. Why don't you tell the audience where they can find you, learn more, get in touch?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Cindy, for having me. My
Thank you.
website, finallyfreelife.com. You can find me on all social media, starting with Instagram, breakfree_rise and rebuild, Facebook, it's TikTok, Facebook, all YouTube, Finally Free Life. You can find me under Azadeh A. You can DM me if you like. My assistant doesn't do that. I actually do that. So you would be talking to me, not an AI. If you need to DM me, if you're in an abusive situation, if you want resources, if you want books, anything like that, let me know. I have a community of resources. It's on my website. And people, if you need help to either get sober, leave a abusive relationship, or write a book, and we do all of it, or photography. My husband does photography. So, I'm all about raising women and men, but my clients are usually women, raising women that are leaving addictions or abusive relationships and getting a voice by writing a book, healing, becoming their authentic self.
Awesome. Well, she told you all the ways to get in touch with her, find out more, do all the good stuff. Please do reach out and see how you guys can work together. If you like that nonprofit, please go visit their website. If it's something you're passionate about, go make a donation. $1 or $5 multiplied by the many, many people we have watching this episode today can make a huge impact to these nonprofits. So please go make that small donation. It really does make a difference. Thank you so much for being on today. I'm so grateful for you and your time. And to the audience, we'll see you all next week. If you enjoyed this episode of Little Give, head on over to our website at littlegive.com. You'll be able to find all the information about previous episodes and past guests that we've had on. If you or someone you know would like to be a guest on Little Give, all the information is also on the website. And if you have a nonprofit that you love and would like to recommend be on the show, all of that information is also on the website. We really appreciate you watching today, and we can't wait to see you again next week.